afternoon, my lovely Facebook Live bunch. We got there eventually today. I was going to take you outside, but I couldn't get the tech to work. Always a tech issue. But it's lovely to be here again. I feel much happier today doing this live than the other one. So apologies for being a little bit late to the party today. But today I wanted to talk about yoga. But not just yoga, yoga for mobility. And yoga's got loads and loads of fitness benefits. And it can be very, very beneficial if you're looking to ease joint problems, or if you have issues with a bad back or any other kind of muscular issue. Actually, the list goes on. But today I wanted to specifically talk about mobility. So mobility is a word that you hear a lot in health and fitness circles, and something that actually I'm quite passionate about. So mobility and vitality as we get older and as we move into old age. So when you've been smashing the HIIT classes and your knees have given up, because that's what's going to happen if you're smashing the HIIT classes, yoga will be there to look after you. When we're old and grey, yoga will still be there for you. So what do we mean when we look at mobility? So mobility mainly is taking care of joints. So we're looking at joints like our shoulders, elbows, our wrists, our knees, hips, and our ankles, all of which can become very, very problematic later on in life. So what are the benefits of good mobility? Good mobility, especially in old age, can look like an improvement in your posture, an improvement in your flexibility, easing your aches and pains, can prevent injury. So it's something really, really good that you could be doing now if you're engaging in a lot of other sports and activities. If you're practicing now, it can prevent joint deterioration again. So we're looking forward into the future later on in life. And it can also keep your joints healthy. I lost my flow there and I saw John. Hi John. Who else have we got? I can't see who else we've got. Let's have a little look. Awesome. So mobility. So I thought for today I would show you a couple of moves that we can take out of our yoga session that you can practice on your own before bed or when you get up out of bed. So just do a little bit every day. It only needs to be like maybe you pick one move and do it for 2 minutes. Or you pick 2 moves and do them a minute each, like in the morning or in the evening. You don't need to do the whole yoga flow to be practicing yoga. You can just take little bits out that you like. So I'm going to start off demoing with a couple of moves that you can do on their own. And the first one is really, really simple. We're looking at joint mobility in our wrists. So all we're going to do and all you need to do is just move your wrists round one way and then move it round the other way. Very, very simple. Just activating the joints there. Just keeping it fluid, so you can do it clockwise, anti-clockwise. Loads of ways you can do that. Really, really helpful move that you can do morning or evening. Or do it for 10 breaths. 10 breaths is another lovely way you can count. So your next move, and you see this a lot in yoga, but you don't need to do it as part of your full yoga flow, okay? So we see a lot of downward dogs. And you can take a downward dog out of your yoga flow and practice it on its own. This is all you need to do. Set a timer for 1 minute or set a timer for 2 minutes. Pick a move, just isolate the move, do it on its own. Press the shoulders down into the floor. Walk the feet. Like I said, if you've just joined us, you don't need to do the whole yoga flow to get the benefits. You can just pick a couple of moves. The next move. This is an excellent rest and recovery move, but also really stretches out the shoulders, really stretches out the lower back. So we're going to move into child's pose. So we're going to press the big toes together. You're going to take your knees out towards the edge of the mat. And you're just going to walk your hands slowly down the mat, rest in your chest and rest in your head down on the floor. And you can just stay here, have a little rest. Really good for stretching the back, really good for stretching the shoulders. Really good recovery pose as well. If you're coming back from doing a little bit of a workout, you can just hang out and spend a little minute recovering in child's pose. I'm just going to demo again. So just press the chest down to the floor, rest the forehead on the floor and hang out here. Really, really good. Recovery pose, awesome for stretching out the shoulders, awesome for stretching out the back. So, another move that we can do. And this is set up in tabletop again. This is something that we've done loads as part of yoga. You can take it out, you can do it on its own. It's our lovely cat-cow. So we're going to set up in a tabletop position. The tops of your feet are pressing down into the floor. We're going to breathe in, shine the heart forward. So you've got a nice press down the belly down to the floor. And then on the out breath, you're going to press your shoulders, press that spine up to the ceiling. Breathing in, take the chest up, lift the gaze forward. Breathing out. You can do this on your own. Just do it before bed, a couple of rounds. Maybe do it for 10 breaths when you get up in the morning, or 10 rounds before you go to bed. Really good spinal mobility, really good hip mobility as well, that you don't need to do your full yoga class. So the other one I'm going to show you as well, and this is again for spinal flexibility, it's our cobra. But if back bends are not your thing, again, that's fine. I'm going to show you a different way to do it. So if we get down into cobra, so we're going to press all the way down to the floor. You can either take it up to a full cobra, which is here with your back bend, or you can hang out in Sphinx here. And you can just hold it here for a couple of breaths, hold it here, 10 breaths, in and out. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Here, or if you like the way we do it in class, you can work with the breath. You can come up to cobra, breathing in, breathing out. Take it down, breathing in, shine your chest up, breathing out. So 10 breaths in and out here in the morning or in the evening is really going to sort you out. If you're looking for a bit of spinal mobility. And remember guys, your spine is like the corridor to everything else. You really, really want good spinal health. You really, really want to strengthen the muscles surrounding your spine. Lots of bad backs are caused by these type of things. And there are lots of people who will be more than happy to sell you something really expensive to sort it out, when actually all you need to be doing is yoga moves in the morning, yoga moves in the evening. So the last one I'm going to show you, and this is for hip mobility. And this is also quite nice for a bit of self-love and a bit of self-care as well. So it helps if you think happy thoughts and nice things about yourself when you're doing this. We're going to sit with our legs straight out in front. You're going to pick one leg up and you're just going to give it a rock. So hold on nice and tight. It's a little bit like giving yourself a hug. Think happy thoughts. And you just rock back and forth. So again, you can do this a couple of times in the morning, set a timer for a minute on each side, and then you can revisit it again in the evening. So lots of moves there that can be very, very beneficial for the other exercises that you're doing, especially if you're doing high intensity stuff with lots of impact on the joints. You need to be looking at doing some sort of mobility moves to go with it. Loads of these are really helpful. If you come to yoga as well, you will see that a lot of the stretching that we do really helps lengthen the muscles and open up the joints. So I'm going to leave it there for this afternoon's little podcast. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm just going to give you a little recap of what we've just talked about. So we were talking about mobility and how you can take a couple of moves out of your yoga sequence just to do them a couple of times in the morning, a couple of times in the evening. And some of the ones that are really, really good for this are your downward facing dog, leg hugs, we'll call them, cobra, which is a back bend or sphinx, cat-cow, which is the one with the spinal stretch, breathing in, arch the back, breathing out, press the spine to the ceiling, and child's pose, relaxing down into the floor. So I hope you've enjoyed this morning. I'm going to have to think up something else now to talk about a little bit later on. But if you would like to join me for this evening's yoga, and again, like I said, you don't have to do the whole flow. You can come, join, take a couple of the moves out, do them in the morning, do them in the evening, and you will get a massive overall benefit. But thank you very much for joining me. It's been lovely, and I will see you all later for yoga. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later.